my mic still on? It is? Okay, right there.
We are live.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Welcome back to the 102 episode of the Premium Advantage. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you very much for joining us today. The December the 13th, Friday here at the Ion. Trying to get that live Instagram link that always evades us, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep going. Today, myself, Roberto, our co-host, Mr. Jacinto.
Hello to everyone in podcast land.
And our special guest, Mr. Chase FONTENOT. You can find Chase at linkedin.com/in/Chase FONTENOT. Right? Don't forget, there's anagrams in the back of the LinkedIn. Myself, Roberto. Oh, the sound check is going. The introductions are going. Mr. Chase FONTENOT is a risk advisor. A risk advisor. I'll be surprised, actually. This is one of the first times that I've actually heard that term. Commercial risk advisor. So I was intrigued, actually, the first time I saw it. Commercial risk advisor.
FONTENOT or FONTENOT?
FONTENOT. It's French. FONTENOT. It's French.
FONTENOT.
FONTENOT.
Okay.
From Brady Chapman, Holland and Associates. I was also introduced to the firm last week, and there's a lot of information here with regards to Chase's appearance here today. Everybody being more informed with insurance solutions that are out there that a lot of people don't know. Right, so this is one of the nature of the channel is to go through this information, these professionals that are out there that folks want to be able to rely on, things of that nature. Insurance solutions. All right, cool. So don't forget also, if you are interested in becoming a tax preparer, we have options for you. We have a membership available. Because we do taxes support and insurance support, insurance solutions. If you're interested in becoming a tax preparer, we have options for you. Go to the website, either myeasytaxprep.com or thepremiumadvantage.com. Set up a discovery appointment. We will give you more information. This includes the software, by the way. It's almost tax season, so keep it in mind. It's a good time to get that rolling. Now's the time, 30 to 60 days to get things rolling. 100%. It includes with your application with the IRS, your ITN application, your permissions, all that good stuff. If you're interested in something to get that started.
One-stop shop.
Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Here to help out folks with as much as we can, taxes and insurance.
Bam.
Today's agenda, we have a little bit of information or some discussions about healthcare in itself, the United Healthcare CEO discussion, a little bit of that. The meteor shower, some insight from a professional, from Mr. Chase FONTENOT with regards to the insurance industry, a little bit of information we're going to be discussing. Sports, your weekly update for sports from Jacinto. Thank you very much for those. And then also the segment that we've been developing, the power of networking. The power of networking coming up along. All right, a little bit of information about that. Now we can. So now we went through the intros. Say, tell us a little bit about yourself, please. The unexpected always happens. Insurance is something that has been part of our society for hundreds of years now. Mm-hmm. So would you mind sharing a little bit of what you're at with regards to insurance, what you do, how you can help folks and things of that nature?
Absolutely. So my name is Chase FONTENOT. I'm a commercial risk advisor with Brady Chapman, Holland and Associates, like he had mentioned. We help medium to large size, high risk, privately owned businesses manage their risk and make sure that they're taking every avenue to manage their risk and utilize what they have at hand before using their insurance. So, of course, easy thing to say is that I do commercial insurance, but in the end, something me and Roberto were talking about is that when we were talking about insurance, I mentioned that our society, our media, our news outlets have made insurance out to be some type of maintenance program rather than the last resort as it needs to be. So that's one thing we do. We take a holistic approach toward risk management for those businesses and utilize everything they have at hand and strategies that we have used in the past to ensure that we are mitigating, avoiding, and assuming as much risk as possible before moving it to the insurance company. I've been in insurance for 8 years now. I started in commercial insurance with a small little Allstate agency.
Oh, really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you have a little bit of Allstate experience.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is interesting to know for folks. Okay, where have you been? What have you seen?
100%.
Tell me a little bit of what have you been exposed to?
How you know what you know.
How you
absolutely
know what you know. A little bit of Allstate experience, that captive market of Allstate. Typically, those agents are there. And then what happened and how'd it go?
Definitely. So I started with Allstate as a telemarketer, 2016. 23 years old. Calling people, just asking if they wanted quotes From there, I became an agent within
Dude, that's
3
tough,
months.
by the way. That is not easy.
Grueling job.
Hello, do you want insurance?
Cold coming, baby.
That's
Hey,
hard,
That
man.
was
That's how you get good, though. That's how you get good,
right? I was sure you cut your teeth with
I
that.
would say that was along the lines of one of the nicest responses I got from people. But you know,
You're not gonna help me. I mean, here to help you. It's really the nature of the call.
no, I started doing that and doing enough of that within 3 months. I got my insurance license.
Oh, okay.
I started selling home and auto, everything as far
Okay.
as personal insurance is concerned.
Mhm.
From there, actually moved to Houston or the Katy area about
Oh,
a year
okay.
after getting my license. Started with
Oh.
another Allstate agency out here.
Allstate.
And stayed there for about another year and realized that the captive market wasn't my cup of tea.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anybody-
There's limitations with regards to the captive market. There's
Absolutely.
What's the
securities.
captive market? What does that mean?
So you have Allstate, Farmers, State Farm,
Yeah.
companies like that, the big box names that you
Okay.
see plastered on TV, and they have one product they can sell. So what that means is that if you want a home quote or an auto quote, it is through their little carriers, I guess you could call them, to
Oh.
maybe put it in layman's terms. Each carrier usually is a managing general agent that has an umbrella of different little carriers
Okay.
under it that they assess the risk to based on the product. But they usually have just one product for one line of business.
Interesting.
Whereas an independent agent, like I believe
Independent agency,
Roberto,
baby. Let's do it.
myself, and other independents out there,
Look for those solutions.
Mhm.
Interesting.
It's
So
not
those,
a
hey,
matter-
hold on, we can't do this, and then the captive agency is like, "No, this is what you can do, and then you're kind of bound by contract. You can't extend. The
Absolutely.
solutions, but then for folks that like to find
Mhm.
more solutions, yeah.
I had an old boss that actually he postured it this way, as far as it's not a matter of if we can place the business, but where we place the business and
Hmm.
what we do to place the
Interesting
business.
perspective.
So anybody looking to get into the insurance industry, I always advise you get into the independent side before you do captive. You're gonna, like you said, cut your teeth a lot
Yeah.
when you are in the captive space. If you can get into the independent space initially, it's you'll learn a lot more.
You learn
And,
more, yeah. All right, cool. So we had some topic points that we were going to include with
Absolutely.
regards to this stuff, right? So we had, 2025, 2025
It's right down the
market
street.
predictions 1 year ahead of time, but 1 month ahead of time. This is how it's going to look. Keep this in mind. If
Absolutely.
folks go next year, I don't know, why is insurance doing this? Go back to the episode from December 2024. We are professionals in the industry, kind of having a little discussion about those
Solutions is what
situations
we do here.
with potential solutions that you may have available. We're not there yet, but we are seeing some trends. We're going to discuss some of those factors and see what kind of solutions folks can apply to.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Share with us, if you wouldn't mind, some of the 2025 are the market predictions and the discussion points with regards to stabilization and those little things that I think are interesting to folks, that for them to know that they exist and how they operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. So with that said, I like I said, I've been doing insurance since about 2016, and I think, like we discussed before the episode, is that I've been through both a soft market and a hard market.
Can you elaborate on a little bit on what those mean?
What a soft market is that you can, when we agents go to the underwriters of business, it isn't a matter of they're declining it for this reason, or whether it's location or this, that, and the other. A lot of what you're seeing now when you try to get insurance quotes, especially in Texas. In a soft market, it's very, very competitive pricing. You're usually going to have majority of the carriers wanting to do business unless that's just not their appetite.
Okay.
A hard market is when pretty much, yep, everything you send to the carriers is getting declined. And if it's not getting declined, they are
the visual representation of a hard market.
Makes sense.
absolutely, very accurate.
Makes sense to me.
Very accurate. Don't forget to pull out the hair. But
You got your beard.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe some effects.
pretty much anything you send to a carrier in a hard market is going to be declined, or it's going to have just an insane amount of premium attached to it. It's not going to be easy to place.
Or more conditions attached to it.
More provisions, more conditions,
Yeah.
more exclusions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So we are, I would say, shifting out of what is considered a hard market. We're not going back to a soft market by any means, and we're definitely not going back to premiums we saw
Sure.
before COVID.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a medium market.
I would say it's a neutral. A
Neutral.
neutral market.
Oh, neutral market.
Yes.
I like it.
Costs are going to continue to go up.
Yeah.
Just
Neutrally.
inflation is still, I mean, it is still above 2%. It's 2% of what we see now. I think that's one
Okay.
thing that people get misconstrued when it comes to inflation.
The cost of money.
Exactly, is that these 2%, these increases in inflation, these percentage points are based off of prior quarters, prior years. It's not based off of 4 years ago from pre-COVID. I highly doubt we're ever going to get back to those prices. I'm not an economist nor a financial analyst, so
there may be solutions available where the risk switches in such a way where it's like, oh, it may lower, but then you retain some more of the risk. You know what I'm saying? Or the deductible shift. I've noticed deductibles increasing, at least on property side, depending on the situation. But like auto liability, who knows? Who knows because of automatic driving and cars? And who knows what that would do? 100%. Property, it's a challenge. What have you got for us with regards to stabilization? How does that work with the hard markets and everything that comes along?
As everybody's seen, especially if you live in Texas, you've seen exorbitant rate increases on a majority of your personal lines, and that was the carriers intentionally hiking rates to be able to make up for the losses they took from the soft market and not being prepared for the hard market. I have seen personally
it's interesting. Yes,
wow,
gotcha. That's reasonable because that's one of the discussions we had a while ago. It's like, the reason why it happens is because they're not ready for it, and then they get hit. And that's how you get that increase.
A big misconception that I've seen a lot just on social media, hearing just through the grapevine, is people thinking that insurance companies are profiteering off of these rate increases and they're just making all these big bucks. In reality, a majority of carriers will be right at that baseline of what's considered 100% combined ratio. All that is your premium dollar you pay. That's what's going towards claims and expenses, and the little bit they keep for what's considered profit. A majority of their profit they're making are based off of investments, which are primarily in bonds, because insurance companies are heavily regulated. They're not throwing their money into, next week, expiring options and gambling their money away, right?
I got it. They're betting sports money because they're not watching the premium advantage. That's where they're losing out.
Exactly why. But in the end, a lot of the growth they're seeing is coming from their investments, not from their premium dollar. Those premium dollars are making up for the lack of premium dollar that was there before. And as we had mentioned earlier, or as I mentioned to you earlier, I'd done an event previously where I mentioned to a crowd that what we are paying in insurance now is actually the cost of what it costs to insure what we have.
Wow.
All of the financing that we do as an American, or even as a Texan, but as an American, we have, just out of this world financing rates and things like that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, all of the nice new technology we have, the nice new cars, these new smart homes, these things cost money to insure.
Yeah, because you a lot of folks don't perceive the nature of that exchange, that like kind of it's been done in several layers, meaning the auto industry has a layer of industry, the homes have a layer of insurance. It's layerized differently, right? And everything has different deductibles, makes it a little bit more complex. And I perceive that this, information where it's not uniform across every industry. Each one is going to cover you different, but they all have deductibles, they all have provisions, they all have this, they all have regulations, and a lot of the frustration of it's going up. Okay. It's because of these situations where things cost more.
Absolutely.
They cost more back then. They cost a little bit more. What folks need to be aware of is how much their income is. It's like, well, what about your income though? Hold on, everything's going up, but what about your own income though? Are you like managing how to do that so that you don't get frustrated about that situation?
And whenever you do have a society that is shaped around financing everything, it does take away the sticker shock of the actual cost of these things and what they cost to insure and maintain.
Yeah.
So
and that's why those big box insurance companies always try to promote bundle. All those commercials like bundle this and bundle this and bundle that. But it's because Americans want a one-stop shop. They want everything in one box together.
Multi-solution platform.
And that's why it's not that easy. And that's why I always, when I see commercials like that, I'm like, that seems too good to be true when they're saying it like that. Especially with, like you said, the change of technology, the change of the way things work, smartphones, smart homes, smart everything. You're gonna have to change these things.
Not to mention people want cheap.
Dude, they always want cheap. That's always.
I think the best way.
Put it in the box.
Put it cheap. The best way to describe it is I saw it because I'm
no, don't forget that.
In the industry, as long as I have a part of a few meme groups, and there was always a meme that circulated a few years ago that it was a picture of a beautiful stallion, right? Just artist drew it. It's just perfect drawing, and it says, "When you care about your insurance." And then it has on this side, when you want it cheap, and it's a picture like a
third grader.
Not even a third grader. like a kindergartner.
Left-handed kindergartner.
Left-handed exactly.
Yeah,
With his head cocked and his
Yeah,
eye closed
yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and that's the best way I like to put it,
Yeah.
is that if you want cheap, you're going to pay for what you
Yeah,
get.
you get
It
what
may
you pay for.
sound amazing. It may sound great to bundle, but in the end, pay attention to your exclusions, your provisions, things like that, because whether you're a business owner, whether you're a homeowner, a car, whatever it is, I mean, those are the things that are going to be the gotchas with insurance that people don't realize when it does come to claim time. So always make sure you're reading up on those things, and if you don't understand them, ask your agent. So
if you have questions about that and you can't reach your agent, go to the premiumadvantage.com. It's one of the tools that we have. Well, we will go through this process of getting you the information out. If you have questions about that, it's the nature of what is the solutions. In case sometimes that happens, is what we hear sometimes, like, I can't get a hold of whomever.
Sometimes.
there's your problem. That's a solution.
We got some solutions available. We'll get some answers. We'll figure this out.
And I would say the only thing that's still going to be a challenge within the insurance industry, aside from the neutralization of the rates that we're seeing, is
the rates. I like it.
nuclear claims and catastrophe.
Okay.
We can't sit there and ignore the fact that the storms we see and the claims that come from them, from these catastrophic storms,
that's definitely
worse.
affecting. Yeah, it's affecting a lot.
Absolutely. So you're going to have that. You also have social media, which is the court of public opinion now. So if something catches fire on social media or becomes viral, typically those claims that are associated with that are gonna the cost of them are gonna skyrocket.
I never thought about that.
That's why the liability side of the
thought
insurance
about
industry.
that. Why social media is increasing the price of insurance?
That's just an opinion, but
No. I understand. There's a correlation there. I understand it. I like that. This is an interesting little correlation there. Okay. Don't take advantage of the insurance. If you don't want it to go up, be mindful about these little situations.
Let's just think about it this way. So if you have a Kia or a Hyundai, you probably had issues getting auto insurance with full coverage in the past 2 to 3 years. The reason being is because a few years ago, there was a group called the Kia Boys that was on TikTok that basically taught people how you could steal a Kia or a Hyundai and hotwire them.
Really?
Yes.
No kidding.
And that's why you typically, whenever you call an insurance agent and they say, "Oh, I can't write it," that's why.
Some situations have come up that give you electrical boxes. Also, there's some electrical boxes that have come into issues where they're like, "Hey, you got this electrical box?" Nope. Immediately cancel those. They catch houses on fire. I can't recall the name, but there's one that recently came up.
Federal Pacific, I think.
Yeah. It sounds. I don't want to say if it's the wrong one, but it could be. But yeah, it's one specific where they check specifically for these boxes. If that's in there, cancel.
In my time in personal insurance, I came across 2 or 3, and I told them you have to completely replace your breaker box.
No, do it now, dude.
But I would say the only thing, and back to what I was saying about nuclear claims, is just, that's just opinions I've seen in articles from analysts, things like that. But it does have correlation, like you mentioned.
But then also insurance is supposed to be kind of spread around, where maybe a nuclear risk won't affect one or two or one big carrier, which if it does, one carries out, but it shouldn't affect the entire industry in such a way. So I don't think social media could have that type of situation where it knocks down several insurance companies. One instance where one insurance company is overburdened and then social media pushes, I could see that.
Absolutely.
I could understand that little situation.
I just read something yesterday, an article that was going over a $1 billion auto loss.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't even a commercial loss. It was personal.
A billion?
Billion.
A billion?
$1 billion?
On a personal suit?
$1 billion.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, things are getting up there, I guess, with regards to the numbers.
But yeah, and that's nothing we can stop. That social media is going to be around. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to be a focal point of everybody's household and daily life.
Even like scare tactics, right? Like for instance, there's like a big media craze right now about how they're selling doomsday prep situations. Like Costco has a bucket of
doomsday prep
of food that lasts like 25 years.
Really? How much does that cost?
I forget how much it
That's
costs.
intriguing.
It's like $300 or something.
Oh, $300? And lasting 20 years?
20 years or something. 25 years. And then I saw also a tent or like a sleeping bag that protects you from nuclear winter. So you can just stay in there, apparently. Wow, I mean, this is what they're selling it as. But I'm seeing more and more of these things. I don't know if it's my algorithm that's doing that to me.
This is where you're going to end up. You better be ready.
This guy's ready for the zombie apocalypse. Send him more things. But I've heard that from other people too. Like it's become a thing where there are people who are actually worried about it and thinking about nuclear war and the thought of what we would do in that situation.
That's not typically war is not covered in most policies.
Protect yourself from radioactive snow.
Man,
seriously. The yellow one is the worst.
Stay away from the yellow.
Don't drink that. Don't drink it.
But I mean, moving on from that, that's what you're going to see is some carriers that have profited and have been able to stabilize their books on the underwriting side. You're going to see some that are going to be more competitive, opening up the capacity.
Yeah.
I've personally seen some that if somebody has a good driving record, they're doing telematics, things like that.
Telematics, yeah.
They're actually giving the money back, or on their renewal, they are cutting the rate by, or what the rate was, they cut it by, 10-20%.
It goes both ways on the telematics, by the way, because if you're a terrible driver,
absolutely.
they're sending them your money, by the way. So be mindful about that on the telematics. Don't get on the telematics deal and then like floor your car 10 times a day. It's like if you understand you get it tracked, maybe stay home for like 3 months. You know what I mean? Until you get the rate.
But be careful.
That's a good point.
Be careful with the carriers that you see, of course, giving those huge rate reductions, because you don't want them to be too audacious with it. If things get a little too hard again, because then that just means they'll have to take that rate right back. So that's all I have to say about that. Is just that's the causes that you're seeing as to why the rates have consistently been high. And what we'll see going into 2025, most carriers have found other ways to mitigate the risk.
I do notice new entrants coming in, helping with the stabilization of the markets as well. Which they take their high risk by kind of coming in with a lower rate. Is typically, with the artificial intelligence models, it's hard to say for me who's going to be able to get in faster. Like those, what can you do? What do you need to do? What are the guidelines for becoming an insurance company? And then I don't know if more are going to come in to ease the market. And kind of work with that civilization, let's call it that.
And even aside from that, from the telematics and the AI and everything, you also have ILS cat bonds, which are just simply insurance-linked securities. And what those do is they, just like a bond would do, is if it defaults, then it pays out. But if it doesn't, the investors get that plus the interest that they invested. So that's how a lot of these reinsurers and insurance companies are mitigating their risk and getting those investment returns to be able to put more money towards the future. I guess you could say is through AI, through telematics, being able to have more of a bird's eye view into how risk is managed, and through other investment vehicles.
I love it, dude. Super deep information with regards to insurance, because it's moving. And some of the things, it's constantly moving, it's constantly fluctuating. And one of the topics that was the position gaps that these fluctuations are going to create, right? Along with the access to industry, with the generational shift that's coming. So all of this, because it's shifting, it's like, what are the gaps? What's the ease of entry? Something that Chase wanted to bring into the topic was. What do you have? What have you got in there?
So one thing I've heard since I've been in the industry, or I wouldn't say ever since, but as of recently in the last few years, is that as a lot of baby boomers and older Gen Xers start to retire, go onto their Social Security and start tapping into those pensions and those 401ks, they are, once they leave, there's going to be a huge gap or position gap within the insurance industry. So, like I told you before, I've been in the industry for 8 years now, going on a decade. I personally don't see myself doing anything else. To be honest with you, as a kid, did I sit there and dream at night about writing out accord forms?
Commercial risk advice.
Absolutely.
A poster of flow up on your.
Too much risk.
The lizard.
Oh man.
But am I think I had a shrine built to flow.
Flow
every day. But I fell into it. I mean, I sold phones before I did insurance, and insurance just seemed appetizing and fun to do at the time, interesting to learn. So and then I just ran with it, found out I liked it, and
people sometimes go, "Oh man, insurance is boring. Insurance is boring," until you get that expiration date, and then all the carriers pull out, and it's moratorium time. And it's like, "Oh, what do you mean you're waiting on me?" It's like, well, everybody's just like, hold on one second. It's like, hey, expiration, renewal, what's happening? Oh, the price went up. Hold on, let me go get this done. I mean, there's levels of excitement. Let's just say that.
Shout out to people in Florida. People in Florida deal with insurance claims right now, and FEMA and all that right now, getting back-to-back hurricanes.
So,
man,
maybe some claim solutions would also potentially help with this situation. Meaning, like how claims can handle themselves, investigation process with the technologies. Those are very challenging for us to be able to be like, it's going to cost less. But I see those being available for the market.
Well, when it comes to FEMA specifically, I know that people can't even get their assistance unless they have the proof of their insurance to FEMA.
Oh, really?
And then FEMA is going to want to know how much the insurance is covering, and then you're going to have to pay that money back.
Gotcha.
it's a huge process, and then there's people who still can't get anything because they're waiting for an insurance estimate to give to FEMA to get their their money.
That's an issue. And then on top of that, you get the contractors that are just gonna go and you give the estimate, get paid, and then not.
But that's why, again, you get what you pay for. If you got these cheap guys that are not going to show up, right, versus the people who are out there grinding in Florida, who I've heard about insurance.
Be mindful about the elevated construction situations. You know, it kind of gives room for people to get ripped off.
And we're getting. It's not like the natural disasters are going anywhere, guys. So make sure you got good insurance.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time through the process. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that scenario you mentioned, that was me literally during Hurricane Beryl.
Is that right? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean,
I was doing account management at the time and absolutely hitting moratoriums, non-renewal, expiration. Had to rewrite it, but they don't want the business right now. Yeah, man. So, people see insurance as boring, but in the end, I mean, I would say it's tedious, but every job you do is going to be tedious.
There's a factor of there, and most times it's a lot of times because it's frustrations that we did not create. And it's like, oh, I'm just trying to help everybody here.
and the ease of access, like you see up there, that's a big thing. Is that I personally do not have a college degree, so I got in as a telemarketer.
What? How dare you? Get out of here!
It's not like you have to have this high GPA. Of course, you probably want to have a clean criminal record.
Sure. That's definitely something.
Or lightly blemished.
You're not a criminal? Get out of here.
But aside from that, it's pretty easy to.
We need people with experience here. With experience.
Most people will pay for you to get licensed, and will pay for you to get that experience and that education. Of course, if you find an agency that doesn't want to do that, you might want to look somewhere else. But other than that,
that's good info too, man. A lot of people don't know that.
There's plenty of opportunities to go out there if you're looking to help folks with this industry. Go to thepremiumadvantage.com, do a discovery session. We'll see how we can help. All right, cool.
Love it.
Let's see. What else do we have in the topic line? Moratoriums are lifted in Texas if you need insurance. Anything else that you wanted to mention about, maybe some details about Brady Chapman, Holland & Associates, about their markets himself, in case that's out there, if you want to mention it? Just asking.
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned before, we are amongst the largest privately owned risk management and commercial insurance agencies in America.
Wow.
We specialize in construction, oil and gas, manufacturing,
oil and gas. Oil risks. Oh, I don't know how those are shifting, but those are definitely shifting.
As well as HOAs and other key industries.
Oh, HOA. Okay. Yeah. Okay. HOA is sometimes hard to manage, so keep that in mind, right? Those are challenging situations because there's multiple people making those decisions, right? So when you have somebody that's understanding of this, they approach things differently than when it's somebody that doesn't understand these fluctuations in how decisions may get made in this bigger world. You know what I'm saying? And so it's reasonable to have folks. We deal in those not consistently as much as y'all, but we mostly have 1 to 2 owner deals. Where the decision makers come to the office, contact us directly. There's not a board involved, not typically, but but whenever we had the interaction of what's your market? There's efficiencies here available, especially as we encounter slightly more complicated markets where it's like Chase, let's deal with Chase. You know what I mean? Yeah. Independent. They're able to go through those solutions independently without having to go through like thousands of layers of bureaucracy. You know what I mean? So that's the nature of the advantage that we're trying to present.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Keep it in mind. So, shifts on healthcare with regards to some updates in industry. Anybody, what's up, Cito? Anything that you think about?
It's me, Luigi.
There is heavy talk in the industry. Sad information, moving information, disturbing even to some degree, but also like it's happened. Dude. And it's in the industry of insurance, so it's something that we thought was reasonable to at least have in the discussion.
When unfortunate situations happen, all we can do is learn from them.
Learn from them, try to keep them from hopefully ever repeating themselves again, right? With regards to health insurance industry, I did notice some fluctuations in the market, some announcements, for example, on the United Healthcare, whenever the situation happened, Blue Cross Blue Shield made an announcement about something about the deductibles. And then for some reason, they retracted it the same day.
Wow.
I don't know the nature of what the deductibles were or the nature of the type of medicine it was that they were approving. Anesthesia. I think it was an anesthesia-related situation.
Okay.
They were trying to limit the amount of anesthesia that was available whenever a patient went under.
Okay.
And the moment, the same day, they retracted. I believe they reacted. It was like, you can have whatever anesthesia you want to the markets. I don't know if those are related or not.
Interesting.
However, there were apparently gates put up outside of the United Healthcare building from what like barriers for protection, I believe. And so we don't know. We're going to be having the discussion that you want to keep things peaceful on any situation. there may be mental health related situations here with regards to the situation. We're not aware, but it is evolving, and it's something to discuss. I think United Healthcare CEO and the person that took him out on cold blood, it's kind of terrible. What do you guys think about the social media kickback?
The biggest thing for me is I feel like so many people nowadays are oblivious, man.
Oblivious.
People walk through life on their phones and oh, look at all that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. Things have changed. We need to walk like an NFL linebacker, like
all the time,
head on a swivel. It's unfortunate. I was just talking to my mom the other day. My mom has a terrible habit of looking at her phone and walking there's so many.
You're right, dude.
You see these videos of especially right now during the holidays when people get desperate. You see these horrible videos, these terrible people coming and knocking out an old person.
No way. Keep your phone in your pockets, people.
They see an old lady walking with her purse, and they go and smack her in the back of the head and take her purse. And that could be your mother, you know? So guys, remind everybody, let's all, keep an eye out when you walk in. It's unfortunate, but you got to do it nowadays. Let's walk in like, oh, hey, that guy looks kind of shady. Let's just kind of sit over here and keep our eyes open for a second,
Like tangent. Tangent
up.
Slight tangent from the CEO conversation.
No,
but still keep your phone in.
But it's about being observant
and
aware.
Yeah, and attentive also.
Attentive. Because you see the video, the dude just gets out his limo, like do. And then the guy just walks up, bam. So maybe if he would have got out and just been
the guy looked like he was intent in
of course. There's no way to have avoided that situation, maybe,
unless we are thinking to discuss maybe the nature of educational support for people so that they understand how the policies work, and maybe solutions for folks that maybe don't think that they have a solution, but they do. And then they go through desperation and create these little acts, or little terrible acts, it's these terrible acts of desperation. And I think there's some mental illness that it's hard for me to say because I've just been watching the news. But that's my thought is, folks, the health insurance companies and folks, maybe that NEPR, that first understanding how the policies work, understanding of, hey, is this worth what I'm paying? One of the things that I do see, though, that is kind of a little frustrating is whenever you go, that which would be interesting to see, is whenever you go to the medical, to the doctors, they don't have prices up. Like, it would be nice. How much is this procedure?
Like a fast food restaurant?
Some form of way so that folks can understand what the cost is, as opposed to getting some random bill that they don't understand. I think maybe there could be some discussion to have about that. I could see how some folks could get discouraged and frustrated if they're getting bills and then nobody's helping them. You know what I mean?
And to segue off of that, I mean, this is never to make light of that situation.
Oh,
I think it's absolutely deplorable that there was a certain amount of times the amount of people that were sad about the situation reacted with a laughing face. It's sad that the insurance companies like this do have this connotation with the general public.
All right.
And a lot of this does come, and this is a pretty straight call out to just anybody with an insurance license, no matter whether it's life and health or P&C, is that one thing that we have failed the general public in doing is being comprehensive in our explanation of the policy. Most people aren't going to take the time, as they should, their responsibility to read their policies, understand exclusions, provisions, and conditions. But some people aren't going to do that. It is our job as our fiduciary responsibility to take that time or have some documentation stating that we have attempted to review this with the person and they have adamantly said no, whatever the case
or
is.
Said, I get it.
Yeah.
I got to.
we have a duty as insurance representatives of whatever company we're with, whether it be captive or independent over a bunch, to make sure the client knows the advantages of saving money and the better coverages, but also the disadvantages of the exclusions and provisions. So when claims do happen, they know how to prepare for it. A lot of these frustrations with insurance companies just simply comes from lack of communication and a lack of knowledge from both the agent and sometimes the client's part. And it's not their fault, but it's just if they're not asked the right questions and the information isn't drawn out correctly.
But some plans, and two things on that one. Some plans don't really involve an agent. Sometimes it's like a group plan. So it's like, oh, you're activated and pick one and there you go. So it's telling you to get somebody to give you the full explanation. I wouldn't say. And then another one, I don't really know. I wasn't aware that this particular gentleman had a specific issue with this particular, this particular situation with the company. We don't know if they declined a claim or not, or if it was just some random.
And there were threats before that apparently as well.
Yeah, so we don't know if these things are correlated or if it was just a random.
It could have been a family member. It could have been whatever.
Yeah,
we'll find out soon.
Meaning the pick was specifically health insurance because everybody's complaining, or he's getting a perception that everybody's complaining. So he's like, I gotta do this thing because everybody's
Absolutely.
complaining. But then, you know,
But that just goes back to
Sure.
why the consensus that the general public has of the insurance
sure
industry.
that gave this whole entire perception of
Which is why he
this
wrote
negative.
those words on the bullet,
You
right?
see, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I say it right, but we're trying to go through the process of understanding, and hopefully, again, so this
We'll find
won't
out.
happen again.
They'll break
right?
it all down
We'll-
to us.
we'll-
Yeah.
That is a call out to all agents out there, is
Hey,
to
inform
be
inform
comprehensive.
everybody and comprehensive. Hey, if you want to talk about your policy, go to the website, thepremiumadvantage.com, set up your appointment,
And
or
this is
whomever it is.
This is
Just talk to them.
advice to clients out there, if you haven't, or to the general public that is watching this, to make sure you are calling your agent and asking,
Yeah.
tell me about my
Give me some
conditions, my
info,
provisions,
please.
and my exclusions. If they have to call their underwriter and find them out, that's great.
problem.
Whatever the case is, at least you are informed.
man.
Informed.
Do
It's
it.
the best way you can make the best decisions. Meteors? You want to talk about meteors?
Meteor shower. Hey, everybody. So nice segue, huh? So the next day, so tonight, tonight, the 13th and the 14th, we have a meteor shower that's
Night.
happening. It happens once a year, but this is a special one. This is
This
the
is Christmas.
Gemini.
Like-
Geminid meteor shower. So this particular one,
Christmas.
it's gonna be extra explosive. So check it out, man. So it's gonna be in the northern sky tonight and tomorrow, starting around midnight, and also tomorrow super early in the morning. So if you want to check it out, it's supposed to be a really spectacular meteor shower. So once a year, man, check it out.
So from which way? If we're looking north this way, or if we're looking north?
Oh, north, the
Okay.
direction.
Sure.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah, yes.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. I like it. Explanation. Getting some meteor knowledge at the premium advantage. Save time and money in insurance and taxes. Go.
Bam.
And
Time
sports.
for
Here we go.
Sports
Sports prediction.
All right. Sports scene toe. What do we got first? I forgot. Oh, yes. College fights.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God. There have been more college fights these last week and weekends. It's been ridiculous. There were some major rivalry games, but specifically what was happening is the players, you can see right there, the Clemson guy punching the other guy in the face. And then down here, this was, the Michigan Ohio State game. So these guys right here have been rivals since the beginning of college football. And for some reason, some idiot decided to come. I don't know if you can see him. He's already getting tackled in there. He came and tried to put the flag of Ohio State in the middle of the Michigan.
Oh, really?
Or the other way around.
Wow.
No, the other way
Look at
around. The
this guy.
Michigan guy tried to plant his flag in the
really?
middle. And that's what happened here. He tried to go plant his flag.
You ain't planting
in
no
the middle.
flag in here.
And
Is
that's
that
what
is that
happened
what was
here.
happening?
He came to go
People
plant
are
the
trying to
flag.
plant flags.
Everybody's trying to go plant their flag
that
in
what's
the, in the
happening?
middle of the field.
Let them go to the moon. You let at the moon, dude. The moon is open. Mars
And
is
it's
open.
causing these huge
No. In the football
brawls.
field.
Huge
In the
brawls.
football field is
Dude,
where I want to
So
put
there's
my
been
flag.
more and more fights going on in college football.
Oh my
It's
God.
been
Where did this
insane.
trend happen with this whole flag situation? Wanting it with the one
It just happened last week.
people
out of
just wanted
nowhere.
to really.
Well, because these are rivalry games.
Oh,
These are specific.
really?
Michigan and Ohio State have
Is
been
that
hating
right?
each other
Wow.
since the beginning of time.
Wow.
So they hate each other. So it was already a thing. And
Oh,
then
really?
also like some games happened that haven't happened in a long time, like Texas versus Texas A&M.
Sure.
That hasn't happened in a long time, and
Yeah.
they hate each other.
It's a lot of frustration.
Dude, I didn't know this. A&M has a song all about hating Texas.
No,
that they all sing
About Texas?
about University of Texas.
Oh, the University of Texas.
Not Texas. They love Texas.
Doesn't
We
make
all
any
love
sense.
Texas. No.
Weird.
About the University of
Weird.
Texas.
Yeah, I get
They
it.
all memorize it and
Yeah.
sing it together.
Wow.
That's how much they hate University of Texas. So anyway, there was a fight there.
Wow.
Dude, there's been so many rivalry games and fights. I've never seen this many fights in football before. It's super strange, man. I don't know what's going on.
Such
but
a peaceful sport. I wonder what's going on.
yeah, it's a peaceful sport, But usually people don't fight. And shout out to our producer and I told her we have a bye week for her putting this up. Look at that. She was like, yes, thank you for that. Bye. So it's a bye week. So for those who don't know anything about sports, that means that the Texans were off this week, which is great because we needed it. We were one of the last teams to get our week off. When you get the week off, it's called your bye week. So with the bye week, that's what just happened. The Texans were off, but we're looking forward to, we're going to have a bunch of games back to back to back, including on Christmas Day. So it's going to be pretty interesting the rest of the season. We're excited because we're anticipating getting into the playoffs. As long as we win one or two of these games, we're guaranteed in. It's also that, remember that our division sucks, so that helps us getting in as well. So that's definitely a benefit. And also with the Houston sports, the Rockets, oh my God, dude, the Rockets played the most amazing game 2 nights ago against Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have beat us 15 games in a row.
Wow.
That's like 3 years.
Wow.
Okay? We have not beat them in 15 games.
No way, and we beat them?
Here's what's special about that. This game was a tournament game. So the NBA has an in-season mini tournament in the middle of the season to kind of hype up the regular season. So the winner of the tournament is going to get a ton of money. So our Rockets are all young, and it was against Golden State to continue into the tournament. So this is an elimination game.
Got him out.
And 15-game losing streak, and we won by 1 point.
What?
It was 91.
Oh, man, when was this game?
Dude, 2 nights ago. It was 91-90.
Wow.
Talk about dude, I haven't seen, it reminded me of a 1994 basketball game where they were battling. And the referees, referees were letting them play, dude. They were bumping hard. There was this one time where Shagun, our center, went down for a layup, and Draymond Green came and grabbed him by the arms and threw him to the ground.
No kidding.
Regular foul.
Oh, really?
Regular foul. Every other time during the season, that would be a flagrant. That would be a double flagrant.
You want to go at it? You want to go at it?
Nah, it's the tournament, bro. So the last like 4 minutes of the game, dude, there were no fouls called.
Really?
It was just boom, boom. It was street ball. Exactly.
No kidding.
It was amazing. And then 91-90. Okay, at the very end of the game, real quick. At the very end of the game, everybody's battling. The ball hits the ground. Everybody's diving for it and hitting each other as they're diving for it. Jalen Green gets there at the last second and grabs it. One of the Warrior guys tries to punch at the ball and punches him in the face.
No way.
So they have to call a foul on that.
Right.
So it's like a second left. Hits him in it, goes down, nails 2 free throws to make it 91. And then they get down and they try to chunk it, and it was over. What a game, dude. So our next game now is continuing on. Now we get to go to Vegas for the big final tournament. We're in the semifinals. It's going to be a humongous game against OKC, the number one team. The number one team in the Yes, we did. Very good.
I remember.
We already beat them. So this is going to be a humongous game.
We got to be ready for that.
Dude, so excited for this. So look out for our Rockets, man. It's so exciting right now. All our Houston teams are killer right now. So it's just a beautiful time to be a Houston sports fan. Speaking of which, oh my God. Okay, people, go back to that, please. Everybody, if you have children, drop everything you're doing and give them a bat.
Okay.
I don't want piano lessons. I don't want no karate. Bat, baseball bat.
One stick.
This man just broke the record for the largest sports contract history ever. $765 million. Wow. Okay. What? He's an outfielder. That means half his time he's gonna be popping seeds and just looking at grasshoppers and stuff for $765 million. They did the math. That's about $5,000 an hour.
Wow.
That's how much he gets paid. $5,000 an hour. Now here's the interesting part. He was with the Yankees last year. The Yankees offered him $760 million, and he said nope.
Why did he want it?
Wow. That's another question that we don't know.
Oh, really?
He went to the other New York team.
You gotta say no.
To the Mets.
That's why they give you more.
$5 million?
You gotta say no.
But dude, $5 million? Like really? He was already on the Yankees.
But I guess at this point they're like, dude, don't give it up. You're like at the House of Cards. People are telling you, don't give it up, dude.
Shout out to his agent.
Right. Remember, it was like, no, don't take it. You can get $5 million more.
Scott Boras is the most vicious agent, and he's also Alex Bregman's agent. So that's where we're struggling. The Astros are really worried about what we're gonna do with Alex Bregman because now that Soto left.
Hey, Soto's getting paid.
No, not just that. Soto left to the Mets. That means the Yankees got all kinds of money.
Ah, gotcha.
So they're gonna probably try to get Bregman. So here's the other interesting part of that.
Or Tucker.
Oh, dude, I know they're talking about Tucker right now. King Tuck is on the trading block right now. The other interesting part about this is that the way that they set it up, this is not deferred. Most contracts, like the Ohtani contract, not this one. He's getting a check for $765 today. Yeah. Now here's the other part.
Wait till the end of the year.
There's incentives. There's incentives involved. He can get that up to over $800.
Oh, really?
With all the incentives of stats, dude. So.
What if he gets hurt? He can't play.
No, that's covered. It's in his contract. He's still gonna get paid. Dude, this is the most amazing contract.
That is insane. That's what they said on there.
Yeah, dude. So,
well, my son just turned 3 years old, and he can throw a baseball across the living room with both hands.
No kidding. Oh, ambidextrous. Wow, look at you. Hey, we're doing Ohtani. We can't be Ohtani.
When I tell you it's in my hands most of the time, he's built for it.
Yeah.
As soon as it's time to sign him up,
get it. So. Get your kids out there, play some baseball. Look at that money.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
I like it. Our segment, the Power Networking has taken some development. We've been moving things along. Mr. Chase FONTENOT, part of the experience. Here we go. Now, some of the information that we have so that you guys can have available in case you guys are interested in participating and engaging with regards to the projects. Couple Joey at the Ion every Friday. It starts at
Is that
9
you, Chase? Right here?
No.
No.
It's a Couple Joey every Friday. And then we also have the Lead Christmas Mixers, which is what we met. We met at the Lead Networking event. They have a Christmas mixer next Tuesday. I'm going to try to make it. It's at
Cellar
5:30
7?
At Cellar 7.
What is that?
Correct. It's a location.
It's just a bar?
It's a place.
I think so.
Oh, it sounds
It's a
like
name.
it's a place. It might be a
It's a
cellar.
place in Houston. It's a Houston show. Okay, so keep it in mind.
Dope.
Lead Christmas Mixer, Cellar 7 this Tuesday coming up, 12:15, and then also Cup of Joey at the Ion every Friday. If you guys are interested, we do the episodes here every 12 o'clock every Friday. If you want to be part of the audience, go to the website and register.
Did you just take that shot today?
Yeah, I did.
I was like, wait a minute.
Bam! Today, dog, today.
Talk about live
At the edge.
Love it, dude.
I don't have next. I'm trying to figure out how to get next week's Tuesday picture on here. Oh!
Now you're talking to me.
we
Now
get
you're
in there.
talking
We
to
get in
me.
there. We're moving there.
Now
We get
you're
in there.
talking to me.
Don't forget, go to the raffle once a month, the first Friday of every month, thepremiumadvantage.com, or at the YouTube channel. You can go to the About page and sign up for the raffle, or to be a guest if you want to be a guest. Okay. At the end of the presentation, do you guys have more information you guys would like to share? Anything
Comedy
else?
show. The next Comedy Net is on 12/27. That's a Friday at the Net Bar. Come
Oh,
check it out.
27. Nice. How exciting. All right,
Yep.
cool. Anything else?
To any business owners, any decision makers, executives, is one thing I ask every single one that I talk to about their risk management is when was the last time you've seen your narrative?
Boom.
that
When
simply
was the
means
last
is
time you seen your
when was the
narrative?
last time that you saw how your business was proposed to the carriers in which they're insuring it to know if there is contractual liabilities not being covered, if there's exposures not being covered, or anything like that.
If
So
you're not aware, if you're a top executive, you're like, what happened? How? If solutions.
if that's the case, or
solutions.
you haven't heard from your agent in well over a year, your broker in well over a year, I believe we may need to talk.
Look at that. Look at Chase. I like it. See you guys next time.